Inspired by sound.
It's another day, it's another Justin, it's another Musocast, number 2.
Yeah, okay, that works.
I thought you might
Yes.
say that. Listen to this. So what that is actually V times Rhodes through the Logic Wah-Wah and Replica
Okay.
XT effect. Just a bit of a groove I put together for the intro for this show.
No worries.
And addictive drums and contact upright bass. It's kind of a jam. But yeah, one of those things. Had to do it, man. How you doing, man? From the other day,
No
I
worries,
think
man.
done well.
We're doing well. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. I'd say that was cool sharing the pianos. I know one thing. I did check it out, and I thought, oh, we should have. It's hard to tell who's who.
If you don't know us, yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. With the piano, so we'll be a little bit more mindful of that. I think.
We have plans
I
to
think
ban.
whenever we play at the same time, I think I will be hopefully on the left and you'll be on the right.
Yes.
Just for future reference. That way.
I'll write
There's
that
no
in the
confusion.
description too. That way people know what to expect. But hey, when you have
Yeah.
a pilot show, what do you just never know what's going to happen.
Oh,
you know? So
it's
just
all
one of those
good.
Mad things.
Yeah. But very happy to be here. I think today's topic is
Rhodes.
the Fender Rhodes.
Of which there are many, and I explained this to my wife, and
yeah.
like pianos, she's like, why do you need so many of the same type of plugin? And I say, well, because they're all sampled and recorded differently, and they all have their place. You wouldn't necessarily want to mix a pop song with, I don't know. I can't think of anything right now. Help me out here. Oh no, I know.
Well, it's yeah.
You wouldn't
Go for
want
it.
to mix a jazz song necessarily with Alicia's Keys, which is a piano plugin, but you might want to do a classical or a pop song with that because of the nature of it. But then equally the
Yeah,
other way,
well,
I wouldn't
yeah,
want to
it's-
play classical
it's
with
about-
Keyscape.
Yeah, it's about preference. And what would you think? Just like with the pianos, it's the same with the Rhodes. You get some of them are smoother, some of them have more bite, and it really does depend on the genre that you're dealing with.
Yes, it is.
That really, so it doesn't, we're freaks. We like to download as many as we can.
This is it.
But at least we can now show, I don't know, at least 6 different
Yeah,
Rhodes,
we got some overlaps like last time. but
models
it's
that we
again a
use.
good section.
And hopefully that'll help anybody who's looking at, the different Rhodes that are available. Might help them make the decision which one works best for them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Start it off, man.
Yeah.
What have you got first in your
well,
list?
so this is the most vintage thing that I have. It's the Neo Soul Keys.
I liked that. I didn't buy it because I wasn't
From
sure about NKS.
I'm trying to think. Is it gospelmusicians.com?
gospelmusicians.com,
I think.
Yeah.
So this fella Jamal created this plugin. I have the very old version that's still in Contact. I think they switched over to UVI for the newer versions of this plugin, but I have the vintage one. And when I heard this for the first time, when he was demonstrating it somewhere on YouTube, I thought, man, that's when it came out. I thought it captured a lot more of what I wanted from a Rhodes plugin. So there's more mechanical noises in here. The sustain pedal going down, actually makes
nice,
a noise.
the pedal.
So it's got the pedal simulation. And this patch that I have loaded is called The Perfect Sound. And it's one of my favorite from this plugin, which I'm not sure. Oh, it's Neo Soul Keys. That's what it's called. I was like, what's the name of this thing? So
They had a couple others too, I think.
So it's not great. But it has
It
a
has
nice,
an unusual
it has a
key
nice
up,
quality
doesn't it?
to
It
it.
goes left when you key up. That's quite unusual. It's a big sound.
Yeah, it's
It's decent though.
and of course this is very dry, but I liked the quality and it has I've used it in projects and it's fit in very nicely. But that's the oldest thing that I have.
Gotcha. It's got a good sound to it. I mean, I certainly could find uses for that in tracks, no doubt.
Yeah, maybe not the most convincing on its own, but
A lot of these things happen though, don't you find that a sound by itself is not a sound in the mix?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I find that with a lot of things.
Makes the mixing job quite a task.
It does, because the thing is, if you play something and you feel like this isn't going to fit my thing, but actually it does, but you don't know till you've done the rest of the track, it can be quite difficult. I find that quite often. Mm-hmm. And actually, we should talk about this as well. We'll get to the V-tines, but mentioning the V-tines, I was telling you before that I tried to use the V-tines on stage, and I found that it was incredibly bassy. Now, it's a wonderful Rhodes, and you'll hear a bit more about that later on. But a Rhodes in the house on headphones or in your own space is not the same when you're gigging with it. And this is true of pianos too. I don't think we covered that last time, but it is something worth noting. So when you buy something, make sure that you're buying it for lots of reasons, not just because it sounds good in the moment.
Well, you want to know what you're going to be using it for.
Yeah, exactly.
What genre are you working in, or what gigs are you doing? That's important to realize, because a lot of people, if you're doing more of a dance band thing, you're going to want something that cuts through. And I think like the Canterbury is a good example of something that really cuts through.
That is a beautiful
has
thing. That's my
great
first
presence.
Rhodes, and therefore a great segue.
Yeah, go for it.
That's funny. So this is the Sonic Azure Canterbury suitcase, which is, by the way, my second most watched video on this channel, which is a great Rhodes. And it is just incredible, because I don't know why. They got it right, I think, in every respect. It's an 88Q Rhodes, whereas a lot of them are still 73s. So it doesn't just go down to low E, it goes down to low A and goes up to high C on a piano. And that's good, because sometimes you need those extra notes. And if I drop down, you can tell it's still sampled properly. It's not just pitching the notes down. So this thing is very nice indeed. Here's some of it now.
And that low, that release sample, I love it. Especially with the lower keys.
It's nice that they went down that low. It really helps out. And if you have to do walking bass on a stage, which I have occasionally, and I don't want to pull up a split patch, this will do. This Rhodes will do as a walking bass on a stage. It is beautiful. I love it. I should really show you some of the upper notes too. And of course, like anything, the middle of it is also very beautiful. So from start to finish, actually, they didn't skimp on anything. And that is really the way Sonic Azure has always been for me. They're one of my favorite sample companies, to be honest. I got to say that for them.
Yeah, it sounds good. I think I have a very... Yeah, this is a very dry...
Yeah, you have
patch, right?
a good start. And I have Dirty Place. That's
Yeah,
nice.
it's great.
I've turned off and the thing is, some of these plugins don't do this, but I've turned off the tremolo with the mod wheel. For example, Keyscape does not have anything bound to mod wheel at all. So now I have a similar sound to you, but still very dirty. They've got a bit of distortion on it. Sounds good.
Yeah, I think mine is also not even running through an amp. It doesn't sound like it, at least. Yours has the amp simulation.
Yeah, I think you're right. Actually, there's a slight difference. It's the same plugin, but you can definitely tell there's a bit of a difference. And this is where we do
That's
a bit
yours,
of
and this is
panning out,
mine.
if you like, and we can.
Yeah. All right. So I'm on the left.
That makes a really nice sort of synergy. I like that. Different tremolos actually on the same plugin. It sounds really cool, like
There you go.
kind of
Yeah.
ambient moving space. That's really interesting. You've got a half time, I think, and mine's sort of double, and then they kind of meet in the middle and then go, right, I'll see you later, and then they meet in the middle and go, right, I'll see you later.
There you go.
Absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, Canterbury. It definitely is a great. It's got all the things. It's got all the features, the release samples, and
It is my on-stage go-to Rhodes, by the way.
Yeah.
Almost always, because when I just other things do different things, and it's not to say that they're bad, but most of the things that I'm doing is kind of R&B gigs and things like that, and it really, really works in that situation very well.
I'd say playability is great, and it has the right kind of for me,
Bite and
there's a
bark,
bite
doesn't
to
it?
it.
Really
There's a
good
bite
bite and
that I
bark.
like. Yeah. So there you go, Canterbury.
Canterbury Suitcase. Sonic and Sure, you guys did great. Next in my list, actually, is a duo combination from Keyscape. It's LA Custom and MKS20, which is really nice. I haven't ever used this on stage yet, but I love to sit here and just play this one. And actually, I'll have to bring up another one at some point if I remember, which is a Rhodes from FM8 that I put together a while back, if I can find it.
Definitely.
Very smooth, very poppy / I don't know, smooth jazz type deal, but I really like the feel of this. I like the
Yeah, it
combination.
sounds great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
does.
dig it.
It's funny because I think you may agree with this, that most of the time people that put mixes together for you aren't us and therefore get it wrong. But I think a lot of the stuff in Keyscape, the mixes, the dual combinations and hybrids, are very nice actually. Very well thought out for the most part.
They're yeah, a lot of with a lot of those combinations and the what is it, the creative Keyscape creative.
Oh yeah, I
preset.
like that too. I like that.
There's a lot of inspiring things in there for that hybrid type sound. I think they did a really good job. There, a lot of times you'll get 100 presets from somebody, but 5 of them are usable. I found that with the Keyscape Creative,
Too
there's
many
a lot of
credit,
usable.
3 of them are usable.
Yeah, it's like the sound design I think is always impressive with a lot of these presets, but you'll end up realizing that a lot of them they really are not meant to be put in a mix. You have to modify it to make it work. You know.
Or a lot of them have a one-time
so-
use, and that's a shame because things like
Yeah,
this should have
that's
more than
true.
a one-time use.
Yeah. What do I have? I think I have some Keyscape things too. More of the,
I think you've got the classic, don't you? Or is that
I believe
Hollywood?
that's
That
classic.
LA custom. LE custom. There's 2, isn't there? Yeah.
So this is the classic.
Before I had the Canterbury, this was my go-to. Actually,
It's great. It's definitely
yeah, it's there. It's dry.
again, it's just
Nice.
another different character.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
That's a good sound
Yeah.
for sure.
Rhodes classic. It's got it, man. Definitely they picked a good one to sample and they did a good job sampling it.
I feel like yours is quite funky, where mine would be sort of almost gospelly and laid back. The 90s vibe. Same plugin, just
Yeah.
different combination. Interesting, though.
And then the other flavor is the I believe this would be the custom.
Now, I do like the sound of that. I don't even know what the difference actually is in the physical item between the Mark 1 and the custom. Like, someone modified it?
I believe they are 2 different Rhodes, and this one was like a modified one that existed in a LA studio. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're 2 different Rhodes.
Alrighty. Because it
Keyboards.
sounds, it does
But
actually sound beautiful. That is very smooth, I would say.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And of course, this is I like all the patches that I usually save out are very dry, and then I worry about adding the effects
I agree
later.
with that. It's good to save it dry because that way you have the opportunity to add or take away things.
It's
after
kind of
you
like
added.
it needs to be customized to whatever it's being added to, and this is a good. I prefer things usually to be in a.
I don't mind a bit of
default
chorus
state.
on a patch, but don't add reverb and
Oh,
things
yeah.
for me, please.
Yeah, for sure. Now what's this one? That's the MKS one.
Yeah, it's the
dual.
nice mix. But of course, with this, I can actually change it. So if I turn down the MKS 20, just the custom,
Yeah.
and swap it out. The MKS has always been an interesting beast anyway. It's low and it's nice.
Yeah.
there it is.
Yeah.
I like the fact that you can actually blend, though. Will it blend? Yes, it will. And again, you can go very low and deep with these. Ah, so nice. Makes me smile. I think a good patch will make you smile when you play it, and that's what you want, really.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The good thing about the Keyscape collection is for each piano you get, or for each instrument you get, there's a lot of presets, and you'll find a lot of different characters for the same instrument, depending on what kind of settings they apply. But I like that.
I do too. Yeah, definitely. Whew. What's he on? My next is actually a Scarby Rhodes. It's the Scarby Mark.
yeah.
One
That's a good
classic.
one to throw in the mix. It's good because a lot of people may actually have that one if
Yes.
they've
The
gotten
first
any of the
incarnation
native
of
instruments.
it. They made a remake recently, didn't they? The 88, but this is the Mark
They
1.
did, yeah. It's pretty much the same.
This is very dry,
They
by the
added
way,
keys.
people. And I use that dry so that you guys can get a feel for the sound for that. If you think it's boring now, you can make it unboring, but always start with the boring so that you can build it your own way. That's what I say.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's very roomy. I feel like I'm in someone's living room right now. That's cool.
Got it. Yeah, sorry. I was like, what is this one? This is you have Lounge Lizard,
Oh yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
So this is getting into, in the last one we did physical modeling, I showed the Piano Tech piano. There's a few companies that have done physical modeling for the Rhodes. The one more popular is the one that you have, Andre, the Lounge Lizard.
Yeah.
And Piano Tech made Rhodes keyboards for their physical modeling collection, and I have that one. I'd like to hear the Lounge Lizard.
Yeah. All right, this is Lounge Lizard. It's not as dry as I would like. It's hard to find, unfortunately, and at the moment it's hard for me to turn the effects off in this, but I'll write to AAS and see if we can get some really dry patches. But this preset is called SC Rhodes, Suitcase Rhodes, and it, at the moment, is like this. So it is interesting, is what I would say about it. I do like it. I have used it in pieces, but it needs to be mixed with other things. Because right now you think, ew, but it has its place. It actually does.
They're the bell quality to the notes I like.
Yeah, it's quite unusual.
Especially
I've
on the
never heard
software.
anything
There's
quite
a nice
like
round
that
sound
before.
to it. And that's the thing, when you're getting into physical modeling, they're doing their best to simulate all of the characteristics of the instrument that they're building digitally, and it's not the most convincing. I think samples still have physical modeling beat, and that's my opinion. But the playability is they are a lot of fun to play, I have to say. So that's yours. Here's the Piano Tech version. This is the Mark II sample, not sample, physical model.
find
It's
interesting
there.
about that straightaway is the decay on yours was very fast on your B flat. Very fast. Really died away quicker than I would have wanted it to. Interesting that. Now, when I owned a
I mean,
physical
of
Rhodes,
course, there's so many
yeah,
settings to
that's true.
adjust, and just switch.
That last one I did was the Canterbury Suitcase. That's
Yeah,
because that's a
yeah.
sample, you can sort of feel like they are not going to chop that. They probably recorded it to end, especially these days.
Well, that's what you hope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
you don't
is
want them
indeed
looping
what
the
you hope.
sample.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, the physical modeling thing, if you apply enough effects to them, they can work. But that's the the other side. There's the sampling and the physical modeling. For me, I think I still prefer the sampled
Yes.
instruments.
Yes, I think so. I think there's a little way to go, but this is certainly better than the lounges of old. And I don't know what the piano tech of old was like, Rhodes, but yeah, I kind of like the sample.
Yeah, they continue to improve, and I think maybe physical modeling will be something that'll improve with better computers. I don't know. I don't know how that all works. It's a lot of math, I know.
It's not that
they're
CPU heavy, which is
simulating.
interesting, So you can put quite a lot of them on a
Yeah.
project.
That is a good thing, and I think. Do you have any others besides I have V-Tines left?
I have V-Times left as well, which is like the last
So
one
this
in
is
the list.
this is the newest and the most intriguing one to me because it's a combination of physical modeling and sampling.
We both like this one.
It runs in the UVI plugin. It is not a contact instrument. But we were able to grab it, and you saved the NKS version, so we were able to load it up into Complete. But yeah, it's a combo, so it's a very light file. I don't know, it downloads at like 90 megs or something.
Yeah, it's very tiny.
Pretty small, and they did sample.
Interesting. I think his.
Sorry, they did sample, and I think in order to improve the responsiveness, added in the physical modeling for the different velocity layers, and it really does. Nothing that we've done so far plays as well as this particular Rhodes,
Very
in
true.
my opinion.
No, you're right. Nothing quite does.
So I think we both have different, like, slightly different settings on ours.
Yeah.
But going from. Yeah.
They did good job
it's
actually with the
fantastic.
sustain down, because a Rhodes would not retrigger in the normal way like a piano necessarily would, or something else. So to cut the sound off because the hammer's hitting the tine at the right time is great work. It's like the old SC55, isn't it, when you would replay a cymbal? Do you remember that? I hope you don't.
Oh yeah. So we both have ours. I think for playing, maybe it might not be the best for every situation, but I think this is definitely my favorite Rhodes.
Oh, I've sat here and played this for hours. I'm sure you have too. I was actually really disappointed that on stage it didn't work for me. I probably needed an EQ for the amp that I'm using.
You'll
I
have
wanna
to come up
use
with
it on
a
stage.
specific one
I
to
really
use it
wanna
live.
use it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It'll be great in the track though. Oh,
Let's
man.
get to it. Let's play something.
All right, let me pan out. Throw some chords at me, man. Let me think. That works.
Oh, yeah.
That works
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
The
V-tines.
panning idea works very nice.
V-tines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as we say, we can just really, really play that. You get a groove going like that, and it works really fun.
It's a good plugin. V-tines. And what is it? I don't know what it's regularly priced. It's $150? I think I got it for $99.
I got it
on sale.
$99 too. I did not pay the full price for it. I think that was
but
half
I think regular
price.
maybe it's either $150 or $200. Yeah.
Yes, you're right. It's €199.
Honestly, I think
and then it's 99
that
euros.
one is worth. That was worth picking up for sure.
Yeah, it definitely goes in my lineup of happy things. I really like it joint with Canterbury Suitcase, if I must say. And then everything else is kind of, next to that.
They're decent. In terms of playability and being satisfying to play, I think, V-Tines and the Canterbury. I tend to like the Keyscape Wurlitzers. They tend to feel more playable than the Rhodes, at least for me. There's so many things that go into it. The biggest thing for me that I realized is the velocity curve is super, super important.
That's
and
really
to get
true.
that to feel just right is really what makes the difference between something that feels authentic and something that doesn't. And you have to get it to match the way you like to play. Everybody's playing style is unique and different. So really, if you're able to get in there and edit the way the instrument responds to velocity, I think you'll be able to fix a lot of things that you might not have used before. So
you make a good point, actually, and because you play two keyboards on a regular basis, whereas I only play the one. Well, I play the Mark 1 and Mark 2, but you play the Kawai as well. How do you find, say, V-Tines without changing velocity, or do you have two different patches for playing the S61 and your Kawai? I'm curious about that.
Well, all of these keyboards I have really set for the Kawai, just because that's really what I'm choosing to play on when I play these. And it usually works well enough for the MK261 non-weighted. But pretty much stock the V-Tines worked great for the CA78 Kawai piano, and I had to do some work with the Keyscape pianos to get them to fit or to feel better. And the Canterbury actually I didn't have to edit that velocity wise.
It's funny you say that because, the first thing that I've ever had to mess with in years of messing with this software and hardware mix is the Ravenscroft piano. I never changed velocities on anything, but the first time I changed anything was actually the Ravenscroft piano. And that's really strange. I didn't think I'd have to, but it felt wrong if I didn't. Everything else, just out of the box.
That's the thing. You have to get it to feel right. And that's one thing just worth noting. If it doesn't feel right, that's probably the first place to go is to see if you can't edit the way it, the velocity curve responds.
Yeah, it's a good tip, that.
For me, the Ravenscroft, I had to edit that for sure to get it to fit well on the piano, and again, it doesn't make a huge difference for me on the non-weighted version.
Right.
Yeah. Rhodes, there's a lot of them. There's even more that we didn't even cover.
It's funny, I have more pianos than I do Rhodes, I think, or maybe a similar amount, but it just felt like more. But yeah, there's a lot of there are a lot of Rhodes plugins within Keyscape and within Keyscape Creative, and lots of patches as well within Canterbury Suitcase, which if you want to see that, you should check my longer video out. Being a specialist Rhodes plugin, there's more than one preset in there, which is really nice. And even Lounge Lizard, I should imagine the Piano Tech has more than one preset to tempt you with as well.
It does, but it's that would be really I threw that in there just for the sake of having to have it a part of the discussion, but it's not something that I would heartily recommend.
I mean, look, even the Logic stock Rhodes is
Lounge
not
Lizard
half
is pretty
bad.
good.
Yeah,
not at all. No, built-in sounds are just fine if you know how to use them. There's plenty of people that have used that Logic EP.
On records, man, I've heard it all over the place.
On productions. So I mean, if you know how to use it, it's nice to have the options. But essentially, you should be able to do a lot with just one, if you know what you're doing.
By the way, you mentioned earlier a bit about a Whirly. Well, Sonic & Chill have this plugin called the Broken Whirly, and it is also a very nice Wurlitzer. So if you get a chance, and they're doing some deals lately, you might find you can grab that for a bargain. It's very, very worth it. Despite its title, the only reason it's broken, and the reason they recorded it like that, and I asked them, I says, guys, I'm playing this thing, and I don't see anything wrong with it. They said, turn up this knob on the complete control, because they knew I used complete control, because they're very good customer service people. And I said, oh. So what it is they recorded it with a blown speaker, but the line out is perfectly fine. It's in tune. It works great.
Okay, good to know.
It's a funny plugin, but
Good
it's
to
really,
know.
really
Yeah.
good. I have used that on stage before, and it has some really great presets as well for whirlies. You might find you like that. That's something I may cover in a
To be
future
honest,
video.
regarding whirlies, the Scarby A200, I really like.
That's decent too. Yeah.
It's smooth. It's totally even. It plays well. Yeah, it's a good one, and it's pretty much stock. So, if you have any of the complete, at least the collections are,
Yeah, if you have complete 10 or 11
complete
or
12
up,
is what it
you'll be
is.
fine.
Yeah.
Because I remember getting 10 in 2016 and marveling at all this sound possibilities. Like, what am I going to do with all this? And then I've bought more. I'm like, what am I going to do with all this? And I keep buying more.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It certainly is a lot. Yeah. It's fun.
Well, that's a wrap, ladies and gents. We hope you have enjoyed
That's a wrap.
this Rhodes demonstration.
That's Rhodes. We'll see what happens next.
Who knows? Now, I can't tell you what Rhodes this is.